Kyla Faye.
Hey, what's up, girl?
Hey, excited to have you on here.
So excited to be here.
I have a question for you.
Shoot.
How do I improve my relationship with food and my body? It's been a lifelong struggle, right? And I know it's for a lot of women out there. I'm not going to go into too much of my story. It'll eventually come out in one of these podcasts. But you're a women's holistic health and wellness coach, and this is something that you help women with.
Yep.
Talk to me. How do I do this?
Oh, it's a loaded question
Right.
because, everybody, I would venture to say that every woman has struggled with food or her body or her body image at some point in her life. Me included. I am not immune to that. I have struggled with that myself. And so, what I help women with primarily in this is a lot of people think it's, oh, a nutrition plan or, oh, food lists of what to eat or, balanced food plates. It's actually not that. The key is your mindset. The key is all up in here, reframing our thoughts, our mindset. And I do that through various different practices that align with you. So, when I speak with women, and whether it be in my groups or one on one coaching, it's me really finding out and listening where the root cause of everything is, because it's always 5 layers deeper than you
It
think.
is.
And then it's going into practices that, help reframe that mindset and reframe that attachment, because it's usually stemming from an emotional place with food. So whether that be meditation, whether that be visualization, manifestation, a lot of different things like that that just come with reframing the mind work and how you speak to yourself regarding food.
Yeah, I don't really have that great of conversations with myself sometimes when it comes to food.
That's the problem, and that's the majority of women when they struggle with this is
Yeah,
they don't the self-talk is really, really negative, or it's really, really, um, they're really combating this back and forth and just beating themselves up. It's like, you've heard this many times. You'd never talk to your best friend that way, so why do you talk to you that way? You'd
right.
never talk to a close family. You'd never say the things that you probably say to yourself, like, "Why do I suck at this? Why can't I just do this? I'm fat. I don't like the way I look." So there's so many things that we say to ourselves that are so horribly wrong and negative. And sadly, our brain just kind of goes to that place of negative before it goes to positive.
Why?
And so
What?
I don't know.
Huh.
I don't know why it does, but it's because we're always in a fix it and a fight or flight and especially, I feel like post-COVID times, it's like now we're just rushing more than ever, and so we're always to that, like, okay, what can I do better? What am I not doing enough of? And it's always there. It's never looking in the mirror and going, you know what? You did that. Like, damn, girl, like you finished that, or you're doing good enough today, or look, you got out of bed today. That's something, because some people won't, or don't, or can't. It's a debilitating thing going through things like this when it comes to emotional food eating or just, self sabotage, body image issues. So it's really taking that step of, we do what's called mirror work in one of my online courses, and it's been really powerful for women to just look at themselves in the mirror and say a good thing about themselves, like actually eye contact, look at themselves. You wouldn't believe how hard that is for some women to do.
Mm. Yeah, I remember when I was going through my body work training or massage school, they had us do like a mirror exercise where you had to take a look at your body naked
Yep, I like that.
and point out the things that you like about yourself. How are your legs? How have they served you? How are your hips? And I remember it was so hard for me, Kyla. I mean, I'm somebody that struggled with my body image for a while. Um, and what you talk about really resonates with me because I feel like everybody's giving you food lists, eat this, eat that. Like
Mhm.
I know what to eat. It's like for some reason, sometimes things don't unravel the way they say on the sheet or what they say,
Right.
regards to eating. So it's exciting to hear that there's somebody out there to walk you through it. Do you want to walk me through maybe a little bit of what you might coach somebody through?
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, I mean, there's a time and a place
Yeah.
for a meal plan, for a macro plan. Right now, I'm in a bikini prep competition I have a competition in 2 weeks from yesterday, coming up fast. And so, yeah, I'm on a very strict macro, call it a diet, but I think you don't have to be that strict with yourself. And so, you get all these quick fix plans like want to lose fat in 30 days, try this, and it's just not a one size fits all situation. It's just not. So that the keto, the this, the that. You have to realize I am working with women in midlife, 40 and over. And so 40 and over, I just had a client, this is a real story,
Mhm.
getting a nutrition coaching advice from a 25-year-old. I'm not going to say the 25-year-old doesn't have knowledge. I had knowledge at that age. Do I have more now? Do I have experience as a 44-year-old going through the same thing as this 48-year-old new client of mine? Yes, I do. So there's something to be said for that. So I coach women to where they're at. So it depends on if you're in my women's group, which is less high touch than a one-on-one session or one-on-one coaching or mentoring with me. But if you're just overall trying to figure out like why you can't stick to something, it's a lot deeper than we think it is. So in my women's renew and reset, we have 8 weeks of this container and we go through so many things. We go through it's a different kind, it's a curriculum. So it's like self-love. Then we have, self-acceptance and self-expression call. We have a manifestation and visualization call. We have breath work, where I bring in a breath work facilitator. I bring in a licensed psychotherapist that's one of my good friends, and she talks to them about various subjects. So it's really just digging deeper and finding out like why we're so stuck in what we looked like when we were 20, if we're talking about body image versus where we are now when we're 40. We're dealing with different hormones, we're dealing with different metabolism. So how do we figure all of that out? That is really a case by case scenario. But in the women's group, we really talk about how to reframe everything through these different curriculums that I've designed to help women make the next step.
Right.
Because a lot of times we get decision fatigue, we get paralysis of like action. We think there needs to be a feeling to come before the action. And I coach a lot that the action has to come before the feeling a lot of the time.
Yeah,
So
that's true. That's really true. So wait a second. Well, I know this, so I'm pretending like I don't, but I don't know why I'm doing that.
you know everything.
Oh,
Come
so
on.
wait a second. Did you say you're in a bikini contest? So I know you as a fierce competitor in bikini.
Yeah.
And every time I see you when you're competing, your transformation, you always look beautiful, but your transformation is like incredible. And I know you work hard at that. It doesn't come easy to you.
Mm-mm.
And it takes, like, even when I've come to visit you in San Diego, like, we get up bright and early, get our workout in before anything,
Yep.
go for a run. Like, I know when I'm with you, I got to work, I'm going to get my workout in. Um, so somebody looking from the outside, though, saying, "Oh, her genetics. She's just genetically like, she's in good shape. Come on, you're gonna tell me like I've been fat, I've been overweight, I've struggled with my weight." But you have a really genuine story to share, right?
Yeah.
And that,
Yeah.
you've gone through, you know, things that really bring you to this level where you can empathize with women on many different levels. You're not coming at it like from just a bikini competitor. Can talk a little bit about
Yeah.
that because I think that's important.
No, I think it is important because I don't have a dramatic before and after weight loss story for people to be like, oh, she did it, so I
Mhm.
can do it too.
Right.
What I do have is I struggled deeply with body image, body dysmorphia to the point of, I'll give you an example. In a really bad marriage, my first marriage, kind of running away from really my emotions, talking about my problems, kept everything in at the time. And I would go run, with the track team at the university I live by at 4 in the morning, and I wasn't part of the track team. I was just running with them. Then at lunch, I would go run again. Then I'd weigh myself in the locker room. And if I didn't weigh less, I'd go back onto the treadmill and run again until I did. I had a really messed up situation with food. Now, I was taking food to places with me, not being a bikini competitor, just because it was a low carb tortilla. And I couldn't control my life. Or so I thought. So I controlled my food and my body. And I thought I'd be happier at that lowest weight. And everyone thinks they're going to be happier. And I couldn't have been more miserable. So I relate to people on that deeper like level because I really believe if you really like peel the layers, it's much deeper than a number on the scale. And for me, with this particular competition that I'm training for, it was a struggle. The first month, I mean, you have to have a plan of losing, it depends on your coach, but I had a plan on losing a pound a week to get to my show. First month, I lost nothing, which is not good because then you're playing catch up, you're getting low calories. So, what I figured out, because I'm so in tune with my body and with my emotions, and everything that's going on with it, that I figured out I have something wrong with my hormones and with my thyroid. I felt like I just knew it. So I'm so in tune with my body that I I just figured it out. So I just got diagnosed this beginning of January with Hashimoto's. So I struggle with Hashimoto's and low thyroid. And I took it upon myself to deal with this in a holistic way. So I sought out a really cool organization that has helped me with holistic supplements. And within 2 weeks, I felt so much better. So you've got to know what's going on with your body. You've got to be in tune because like it was a breeze in 2022. Like I was fine. I got to the weight I needed to. It was no big deal. And this has been one of the hardest preps I've ever been through because my body hormonally and in different ways is just dealing metabolically too with it way differently. So, but I'm here to tell you it's not impossible because I'm where I need to be. I'm on track. And that's because I took the steps to advocate for myself and my health. So that's
Yeah.
where we're at.
Yeah. So I know that you're also going for your pro card, right? What
Yes.
what what does that mean to you? Like what is this gonna be like? I know that that's a big point. Like what does
Yeah.
that mean to you? Like cuz you are working really hard and I know you came I think you're going to win. I always think you're going to win. I'm like your biggest fan. I
Because
think
you're
you
the
did
best.
win.
Because you're the best. I
You
need you to
know,
keep telling me that.
yeah, because the thing about you, Kyla, since I've known you is you're positive, but you're positive in a genuine way. You're positive, like, from the inside out, and I know that that's something you look to be able to help women with is to, be their best self from the inside out. I know you talk about that a lot, but
Yes.
you live
Yes.
it, you are it, like, you're
I
positive,
certainly.
and, like, there's some people I'm like, "Oh my gosh, stop it, just too phony," but you're really genuine, um,
Thank you.
and I think people should know that, people that, wanna work with her, I mean, she's the real deal. But the bikini competition kinda, like, it's throwing me off a little bit. It might throw somebody off a little bit, and that's,
Mhm.
because if you're accepting your body, not really, you wanna have a good relationship with food, what does this journey mean for you? What is this journey to a pro card for bikini?
Yeah.
Explain it a little bit because I'm just thinking some people might be a little like, why is she trying to help
Oh
people
yeah.
feel comfortable with her body, but going so what does it
Yeah.
mean? Yeah, I think it's
And
important.
I'm currently that's such a good question. I'm currently doing that right now. It seems like on the outside looking in, it could seem hypocritical. It could seem like the exact opposite of what I coach and preach, but it's not. Because I view it as a sport. I view it as a very temporary thing that I'm doing. And the reason I want to get to a pro status is so I can help more women. So I have a goal of being a part of a large organization of group of women that coach women in lifestyle or prep. And my goal, because you have to be a pro, because like I have a coach and she's a pro. I wouldn't probably have a try to get to pro level without someone that had already done that, right? So that's just leading by example. So that's where the pro card coming in would be, an amazing thing to be a master's pro, but it's going to help me be able to help more women in bikini prep specifically too, because my approach to bikini prep is different. I don't take on clients that I feel have an issue with body image already and they've got a warped sense of, their body and food and things like that. I
You're
have
saying in regards
discovery
to bikini prep,
I mean,
right?
only in
Only
regards
be
to bikini
okay,
prep,
okay.
yes. So getting on discovery calls, I have to really feel like they're ready for this because it can really fuck with your mind if you're not. And there was a point in my life where there's no way I would have been ready to be a part of this world. But because I've done so much of the work and the mindset work and everything around it, I don't get completely devastated when 2 months later I'm 12 pounds up from where I was on stage. There's women that could. There's women that, that it deeply would affect them, right? So you have to be ready for that. And when you work with me, you will work in a way of mindset too. I'm not just going to be a coach that gives you macro. I'll give you macros, your lifting program, all the accountability and support you need, all those things that regular coaches give you. But the mindset part is really where I kind of wrap in my competitors, because that part is the single most important part of this. But I have to make sure that they are safe up there and they are ready for what this all entails, because it will start to mess with those parts of you that maybe aren't healed or maybe you're still dealing with. So it's not for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not.
Right. I think that's important to state. Um,
Yeah.
so if somebody's listening to us right now and they really like what you're saying, like, okay, I think, how would you handle somebody? I think my issue is I think I would be fine if I just stopped eating so much at night. That's my issue.
It,
I really want to change that. I'm good during the day, nighttime comes, and I really want to improve, like, not eating at night. I know there's a lot of layers to your coaching, and there's a lot more that would go into that. But is there
yeah.
a way you would go about coaching somebody that said that to you? Like, would there be questions that you would like, if I was a client saying, "Hey, this is what I want to change. I want to change
Yeah.
my overeating at night."
Yeah, I would say I would kind of ask like the activity that you do during the day and
Mhm.
what your nighttime routine is. And
Well, I'm
some,
working with clients during the day. A lot of
yep.
times, one-on-one clients. I try to get my movement and my exercise in. At night, I come home to my 2 dogs, my husband.
But we've got to see what's happening in those hours before with your nutrition and your food, like
Right.
what's happening to lead us to are we bored? Is it just a routine we put ourselves
Mm.
into? Because I was just listening to Mel Robbins podcast, who I
She's
love
great.
her, and talking about like just these 4 steps to a nightly routine, because everybody thinks of a morning routine. I even do that in my Renew and Reset program, where I challenge them to get a morning routine and give them ideas for that. But the nighttime routine kind of sets you up for the morning. So it's like, are we setting our gym clothes out? Are we putting our phone to bed before we put us to bed? Meaning not right by your freaking bed all the time, right? Different things like that, as our space clean, so we can wake up and feel that good, clean energy. Like, if you have, sometimes I don't like to deflect and do other things, so I don't do the thing I don't want to do, but sometimes it helps. Like, if we're going to go straight to the fridge, maybe there's certain steps we can take, different evening routines where that isn't part of it, where we choose something else and instead, like a bath, or listening to a podcast, winding down in some way without blue light in our face, something like that. So I really try to dig deep with what the day looks like, and kind of get a little bit more like, well, why? You probably heard, the 5 layers, to kind
Mhm.
of get a little deeper into, because it's not just, oh, that's what I do. Like, I'm starving at night. I have a hard time believing that, because I believe that if you're doing your metabolism right, that you're eating often enough to where you're spacing that out, and you don't have to put everything at the end of the night. So a lot of that has to do with an emotional response to food. And so kind of digging into that, why it's going to be really, really important for someone that struggles with that, especially in the evening.
Yeah. When you talk about, flow into the best you, I love that. Flow into the best
Yeah,
you.
that's Renew and
Yeah.
Reset. So
Okay.
it's one and the same. Renew and Reset kind of was rebranded. It was the Flow method, which is basically me helping you with different things that you can do to really approach your wellness differently, and more holistic, natural way that you're happy with. Because a lot of people, like that, like what you said, want to take something from the internet or take something that's hot, and this is the new thing, but they don't like it. Not everybody likes to train for a marathon. Not everybody likes to walk on a treadmill. Not everybody likes yoga. Not everybody likes, there's just so many things. So my program really is the reason it's kind of flow into the best you is, I want you to find what it is that works for you. I help you curate that, but you, in essence, really figure it out yourself through all the different teachings and things that we talk about through the program throughout the whole experience. And so it's really cool to see people curate like something new
Mhm.
for themselves, like drinking water when they've never drank water. Like, I had someone on my first group of Renew and Reset, that just like literally was like, I used to be never drank water, and she was up to 60 ounces by halfway through, which is huge. Just finding new things that that challenge you, but that like you're going to stay consistent with. Because that's the problem is we do all these things and we can't stay consistent. We can't stay disciplined because we don't really like it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the support group that you're building for women out there is pretty incredible because it's rough right now, I think,
Yeah.
out there with, I mean, mid
Oh yeah.
40s. A Jewish New Yorker came out from New York to California, like, and I worked on, like, in 902 and, like, on a health club on smack I think it was, like, on Rodeo Drive on the corner of it, and I remember being like, "Whoa." Like, I was in shell shock with, like, how everything looked so perfect to me from the outside, and it really had
Hmm.
an impact on me moving from New York. Not that New York is not like that, but I think we tend to be more naked or less clothes in California, I think. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. We definitely do.
Yeah, so I mean, it really impacted me, and I think that that had a huge effect, and I would have loved to have some type of support group like you're offering, right now. So if somebody wanted to get started in it, let's say whether you're currently working out, you're not working out, you've never worked out, you're not, haven't done anything for your health, like, can they get started with you? Would they fit into this
Yeah.
group, or would you suggest like one-on-one coaching? Like, how does
Yeah. It
somebody get
depends.
started? Because your mentality, is really great, and I think more people wanna be able to learn.
Yeah, I mean, you can work with me on so many levels. One-on-one nutrition, like I'm building a macro plan for someone.
Mhm.
I just have someone that's accountability with a lifting program. I have bikini competitors, lifestyle. So really the best way is through my link tree that I have on
Okay.
Instagram. And that will be Renew and Reset is on there, which Renew and Reset is that 8-week container to kind of like curate your best wellness program for you. RenewHer is the membership you can drop into at any time. So that is co-facilitated with me and my friend Michelle. She's a breathwork facilitator, so she integrates breathwork into this a
Mm.
lot and just different practices. So her and I have combined forces, and this Renew Her community is building, and anybody can be a part of that. So
Yeah.
anybody that wants to be a part of it can be a part of it. So that will just be through the Renew and Reset link on my link tree on my Instagram, which
Yeah.
is Miss Kyla Faye.
One last question I have before I know I said we have a little bit of time, maybe a couple
Oh,
minutes. How
yeah,
did
of
you get
course.
to this point?
Oh man, that's such
I
a
know
good
it's a long
question.
story, maybe a long story, but, like, uh, because there's always more to you than meets the eye, right?
Yeah.
You have many layers.
I think it is. I think people think
Mhm.
I'm a certain way, and you saying I'm genuine is one of the biggest compliments because I just am who I am wherever I am. My mom used to say it's better to be right than have company. I've never wanted to have hundreds of people around me. Like, I'm much more of a person that likes to be around people, but I want to be around the right people. So I have a close knit of, girlfriends like you, Natanya, and like the few girlfriends in my life because like I just want to be surrounded by, the right people.
Mhm.
And so for me, I've been in the fitness industry for, 20 years in a corporate capacity of, club management, group fitness management, and, a multi-unit situation like we both have before. And there was so I loved leading people and, being that support for a group of, passionate instructors. But there was something where my last job, I was in a kind of a corporate sales role and it just wasn't fueling my fire, it
Mm.
wasn't fueling me. And I just have so much that I want to give. And I know there's so many women that, there's a different women's group on every corner and every click, but someone is going to resonate with something I have to offer, and that will be unique to us and our relationship, and something will click there. And I really believe that if you have something to share and you're passionate about something in this life, it is so short. You got to freaking just do it. You just got to try. And that's why I quit my corporate job, and it
Congrats.
took long enough, but I'm here doing what I love. And like things, when you do what you're supposed to be doing, things just work out and you just manifest that shit and it just starts happening. And I want more people to take a chance on themselves and to really be brave enough to just try. And that's what you always taught me to do. And you kept, being that inspiration for me and my husband as well, like being that support is just, you never know unless you try. And I honestly never been happier. I don't make, I don't make the money I did, my corporate job, but I gotta tell you, it doesn't matter because I am so much happier.
I'm so glad. I can't wait to see, like, how big this gets, and, your new Rest and Renew program starts when?
Renew and
Renew
Reset.
and
So
Reset,
Renew
sorry.
and Reset, we're in the last couple weeks of this
Okay.
now.
When's the new one?
And RenewHer is we just launched that. So anybody can start that right now. It's really great. You get so many things. You get workouts, you get nutrition, you get this community support of women, all sorts of stuff in there in that membership program. Renew and Reset, the group 3, I only do 3 a year. So I do one in the new year, in the spring, and in the fall. So probably end of September is when I
Okay.
will be launching the group 3.
That's great, right? All ready for New Year's resolutions.
Yeah,
So
let's go.
that's
Then you're done
exciting.
before the holidays, and you're like off to a good start to get you into the holidays.
Yeah,
That's what I do.
that's incredible. All right, well,
Yeah.
anything else you wanna add, Kyla, before we wrap it up?
That's it. Just, I got a tattoo on my on my arm that says believe, and I just want people to know that, like, it takes one person to believe in yourself. I want it to be you, but sometimes we have to borrow belief from other people,
Mhm. Very
oftentimes,
true.
and that's what part of this group is we oftentimes there's someone in there that needs support that just needs us to believe in them because they're having a hard time doing it themselves. So that's what this is all about. So if I can help in any way, I'm happy to be that support for someone.
I love it. I'm sure a lot of people are gonna be reaching out. I might be in the
Well,
next
I
group.
love you so
I
much,
love you
girl. Thanks for
too.
having me.
Absolutely, it's a pleasure, and I can't wait to hear what you're up to in the future. Thanks, Kyla.
Same, same. Bye.
Bye.